How do we focus on the law of assumption so that we can get the things that we want in life? And how do we do that step by step? In this video, I'm going to share with you the steps that I have learned through studying Neville's work, as well as the law of assumption, law of attraction, and a lot of experience that I've had through my entire life. I've read a lot of books. I've implemented these on a consistent basis. And I'm going to share with you how I achieve these results and how you can use this in your life as well. Yo, what is up? My name is Johnny. I'm really glad you're here today. Today, I'd like to talk to you about how to focus your attention on the law of assumption and how using focus and attention and directing all your power and all your energy to this will help you manifest everything in your reality. So, how do we focus on the law of assumption? I'm going to give you 9 simple steps that you can use and practice so that you know you're on the right path, so that you can have some kind of guideline on what to do. This is just the experience that I've learned and using the law of assumption in my life. Number 1, the first step to focusing on the law of assumption is to learn how to be more aware of the thoughts that are coming into your mind. The way I practice this is through meditation. There are many forms of meditation that you can do. Pick somewhere comfortable, quiet, where you can sit down. You can turn on any type of meditation music you find online. I use Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations. You can find a lot of his work on YouTube. Definitely listen to that. Put on one of those 20-minute, 30-minute guided meditations. I turn one of those on and then I focus on the things that I want. You learn to focus your attention on yourself so that you can start hearing these thoughts that are coming into your mind so you can become more aware of them. Then when you become aware of them, then you can understand what you need to do with those thoughts, whether to remove them or crowd your mind with the thoughts that you do want. Number 2, at night, what I want you to do before you practice living in the wish fulfilled, before you go to sleep, you want to practice on attention and focus. Neville teaches on how to focus your mind and attention. What you do before you go to bed and you close your eyes, think about your entire day. But you want to think about your entire day, what you did through it, backwards. So from the beginning of you lying in bed right before you go to sleep, all the way, think about your entire timeline, all the way to the very beginning of your day from first getting out of bed. You want to practice this on a consistent basis. This is going to be really hard to do, but it's going to help you remember your day more and understand and practice your attention and focus of the things that you've seen so you can become more aware of reality as well. Then go ahead and live in the wish fulfilled and then go to sleep. What you want to do when you first wake up is these first 30 minutes coming out of your waking state is going to be the most receptive state for your subconscious. So I would highly recommend as you first get up, as you brush your teeth, think about the affirmations you want to say, and I would highly recommend to say these affirmations out loud to impress your subconscious mind right away so it can express that out into your reality. What we want to do is we want to persist in that story that we created for ourselves, whether it's a new personality, whether it's a new being, whether it's a new self-concept, whether it's something we want externally, or if we're looking for anything romance, money, or anything that we want outside of us. Then we can persist with this throughout our day by using affirmations to impress our subconscious throughout that day. I also noticed that when you do step 1 and you practice meditation and you practice just closing your eyes and listening to your thoughts and be able to be aware of them, is that what I've noticed after being consistent with meditation every day, when I'm driving my car or when I'm doing something very peaceful or just cruising, I start hearing these thoughts in my mind, or sometimes it'll play a story of something that never existed, right? Because sometimes we'll have fights in our own mind. You become very aware of these thoughts and you catch yourself and you're like, no, that is not true. Or you think of something, it's like, no, that's not negative. And then eventually you start catching your thoughts and you actually laugh about it. I start laughing when I catch myself now because it's so funny, it's unreal that the more you practice, the more you catch these thoughts, and eventually those thoughts fade away and you rarely get them as much anymore. So I highly do recommend that. Are you getting value out of this? Make sure to like and subscribe below. And if you already are, I appreciate you. Comment below and let me know what you would like me to talk about, or if there's any little manifestation wins in your reality, do share that below. I'd love to hear that. Now, the fourth thing we want to do is we just want to create a consistent habit so we can keep our focus and attention on the law of assumption and the wish fulfilled. We can do this by journaling, writing down our thoughts. We can do this on Notion, or we can use our notes in our iPhone or on our computer. I use a thing on my Mac called Obsidian. It's a great app you can take notes in. Also, we can use a habit tracker. There's a lot of amazing free ones out there. You just have to find one you like, as well as even just simple as placing an alarm throughout your day as a reminder to do your affirmations. Eventually you won't have to do that, but as long as you have something where you can create some type of habit so you can be more consistent throughout your day on your manifestations, this will definitely help out. Number 5 is do not accept the 3D for what you see. We want to ignore the 3D with all senses. We don't want to accept circumstances for what it is. We don't want to look outside of us to see what's happening. We want to live throughout that day in the wish fulfilled, and don't look for validation outside for what it is that you want. We ignore that 3D by imagining the life we want and who we want to be inside our mind. And if you're not a great person that can use imagination, what we do is just think about the thoughts and crowd the mind with that thought until eventually that thought becomes hardened into facts. So that's all we really have to do. We just affirm for what it is that we want and whatever that thought is, and then eventually that's going to express out into your reality. So we just ignore everything we see with the senses, and it's kind of like being delusional. I do have an older video on how the key is being delusional, and from reading Neville's work, it kind of seems that you kind of have to be a little bit of delusional. You got to have faith and belief, knowing that whatever it is you want is going to happen no matter what the situation, what you see. So all you need to do is live in your imagination and ignore all circumstances and all senses of reality outside of what it is that you want inside. Do not force the action. Let it find you. I've noticed that there's a lot of things on rah, hustle culture, working hard, go make it happen. No. You don't have to make anything happen. I've listened to some interviews, even when the original Secret came out, she had an interview, and it was the same question that was asked of her too. Do I need to take action? No, you don't. And the reason why is because you might get a call, or some unusual thing will happen outside. 1,000 people will go out of their way to make whatever it is that you want happen without you even having to lift a finger, besides putting in that thought and living in the end. And everything outside in your world will conform to whatever the reality that you have within yourself, and it will express out, and it'll do its magic, do its wonders, and come to you. And I've noticed that when you're not forcing the 3D by taking action, you'll know the difference between no action and an inspired action, because you're like, well, how do I get it if I don't take any action? Inspired action could happen, meaning you'll do something going by instinct, meaning you had to go out somewhere, or not even. You might just have a feeling. I don't know. It's hard to explain it, but you'll do something outside, whether your friend might call you and you'll end up going out and meeting the person that you're supposed to meet. Anything could happen. Inspired action means it's just naturally doing what needs to be done, the minimal amount that needs to be done in order for that manifestation to come into fruition. And whatever the universe, your higher self, the subconscious, whatever it needs you to get done, it's going to make you do it. And it doesn't need to necessarily mean, oh, I got to go make it happen. You don't need to figure out any how in this reality. The how is the universe's job to figure it out. It's the subconscious to express out to make that figure it out. Whatever it is you want, it is your desire, it is your wants. You are the controller of your reality. You are the decider of what's going to happen outside of you. And all we can do as humans is to live in our imagination, which is God, which Neville talks about. When we live in our human imagination, everything will be created from that. So we never create things as per se, because creation is already finished. We only can manifest, because every single existence of you is here in this moment. When you understand that consciousness is only one, there is only one consciousness, and the consciousness you experience is you. So when you experience only one consciousness, yet in the infinite consciousness of many consciousness, I don't want to go too deep in that, but the thing is that every single potential of you is already existing in this reality. So what we need to be aware of is that we can shift into that reality by shifting our awareness and shifting our thoughts and living in the end as if whatever it is that we want, that potential, until we can align with that potential. And basically this is where all the bridge events will start happening, and it will lead you to your assumption of what it is that you want, and living in your imagination until that wish is hardened into fact. Another thing is that we learn from focusing our attention on our thoughts is that we're able to hear the negative thoughts, the disbelief, and the second guessing. So when we get these through our day, we just need to reaffirm into our mind the things that we want. By saying our affirmations out loud, you do this until you crowd the mind with only the thoughts that you want. Eventually you'll become natural at it, and things will become automatic, and that's when manifesting is even more crazy, because then it's like things just start happening all the time. And the last, every day we really just want to focus on getting 1% better. And if we get 1% better, the final result, whether we see it now or not, little increments of improving your life every day using the law of assumption and using manifestation methods like this, eventually you'll become a master of your own self, and you'll be able to live the life you want without any outside circumstances that will ever control your life. All it comes down to, when you learn to focus and you learn to control those thoughts, you are on the path to becoming the best version of you. Everything you do now is only going to help you get you to where you need to be. Well, I really hope you do well out there. Make sure to keep doing what you're doing. Keep manifesting. You got this. And if you still want to learn more manifestation methods or anything else that I have on my channel, please do check out this video here to help you level up your manifestation.